Everybody, we gonna put on the show. Nigga, I ain't done yet, I gotta put on some more. Nigga, how you gonna breathe with a foot on your throat? Ask about Benz, got the hood on choke. I don't see shit funny, I'm good on you, joke. Heard it was up, my hood on go. Nigga, how you gonna breathe with a foot on your throat? Yeah, pop out for perk and I get out my body. I'm tryna sleep at the car with my gun, and little motherfucker fit in my pocket. We fired up the blunt and got kicked out the party. Put it out, that shit ain't exotic. The shit talking, that shit make me hotter. Turn me up, make me get out my body. Turn me up, make me get out my body. Go.
The primary purpose of the CAF podcast is to express platform for creatives to express their personal views or opinions without restriction or censorship. All views or opinions expressed during the CAF podcast are solely those of individuals expressing such views or opinions and does not reflect the views of the CAF podcast.
Hard Conversations podcast is the podcast for mental health, for my coaching for mental health, helping people holistically get off of medication. I have had 2 people fire their therapist just in the last 2 weeks. Just, based off of the biblical principles I've been using to help them, get past their depression, anxiety, so on and so forth. Because,
this one I can edit out, so
yeah.
It don't matter.
So that's. So Hard Conversations is, to help people heal from trauma, from mental health issues, marital issues. That's what it's for. And so She Money is talking about how the woman is a boss chick. Not just a boss chick, because that boss chick can sometimes get a bad rap, but you can live a soft life and make your own money.
To be a boss the way that Proverbs 31.
Exactly. To be a Proverbs 31 woman boss. You should have your own money so you can consider a field and buy it with your own money. You don't need a man, but you want a man. Mm-hmm. Okay? And you want to be a good wife. And a good wife got her own money. Okay? So all of this whole day was provided by She Money. Okay, She Money paid for all of this because He Money's been holding down the fort. Okay, and so when a woman has her own money, it's just something about a woman being able to pay for things on her own, and not necessarily a real woman, and not necessarily needing a man to do it. I need my husband's support. I need my husband's wisdom. I need his covering. I need all of those things. I can go get my own money.
I'm not going to cut you off because I just wanted to make sure I got it just in case. So here we go. Season 8 CAP podcast. Truth or Dare. We back from an episode that was supposed to make it, but the video wasn't like this. It was trash. So we decided to scrap it and let me take that back. I decided to throw it away and do it again. Now here we are back. Now, just for the record, I just wanted to show you and your husband. At the time we started the CAV, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 videos at the time. Mm-hmm. And then when y'all got on, y'all was video number 12.
Okay.
And how many views was that?
I can't see. Oh, okay. 118 views. Okay.
That video got 118 views, and that was our 12th video. And if you can look and scroll, none of them even got close to it. So y'all was our first video that went over 100 views.
Oh wow.
Righteous.
But we back. Hopefully we get over that this episode because she's back. Now we gonna get depth into her podcast, and hopefully she does it 5 months straight. So
that's what today is for.
I can retire.
So you can retire? Okay.
So
I'll retire my husband first.
Don't care which one go first. I'll get retired. Whatever Sturgis go first, don't matter. Don't matter. It's all in the family.
Hey.
It's all in the family. But
that's right.
We do got her back, and we got some questions, we got some topics, we got some stuff we got to talk about. We're going to get into her podcast and her other podcast, and even if we have time, her and her husband podcast, but we got to get her to answer our questions first. So, Ashley, welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back to season 8.
Thank you.
And this season is dedicated to Truth or Dare.
Okay.
Now, we're not going to go more in depth into the Truth or Dare because we're going to keep it G-rated. I can show you the other videos we asked other people to do there. But
yeah, I saw 'em.
First question that we ask actually always, how is your mental health?
My mental health is literally A1. Like, it is so good, to the glory of God. I'm probably in the best place that I've ever been in my entire life now. Even with everything that we've gone through, even with all of the stuff, even with all of the children, like, my mental health is so sound right now. Like, I have so much peace, I have so much joy, and yeah. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
Okay. Now, we here at this lovely Airbnb that never knew existed, but we here for a reason.
Yes.
Today you had a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to record something for 2 podcasts or 1?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't sold on it yet.
Sold on it yet.
Yeah.
So
I love hard conversations, but She Money Podcast is like, come on.
I'm glad you got, because that brings me to my first question. So, my first question, and I just want to see how you're going to do, because I know it's going to be good. How can somebody determine that they're in their season?
Okay, so it just depends on which season they're trying to determine that they're in.
I'm glad you said that. So, how do they even determine what season they're in? How do they determine they're in their reaping season, or are they in their sowing season, or are they in their peace be still season, or are they just in the season in general?
Right. So there's, the Bible talks about in Ecclesiastes, there's a season for everything. So the only way you'll know what season you're in is to literally ask God. You just ask, like, is this the season for me to be working? Is this the season for me to be sowing, like you said? Am I supposed to be reaping a harvest? Right now, I am in my reaping season. I have sown in tears for a very long time. I've sown in tears of joy. I've sown in time, resources, and now it's my reaping season. But God had to make sure that He trusted me with the low season, the slow season, the season where it looked desolate. And so as He trusted me with the slow season, I was able to learn how to be still. And then it became the slow season to the peace be still season to the faithed season, and now the reaping season is here.
I asked because you hear so many people talking about this. Oh, well, let me go back. You hear so many people say in the beginning of the year, "This is my year." And then you look up, it's like, well, really, was it your year? Like, what did you get out of the year where you was like, I'm better for who I am than when I started?
So I believe every year is my year, because every year you should be your best self. Every year you should be growing, you should be getting better. It should not look like the same things from the previous year. So yes, every year should be your year, but your year for what? People always leave that, oh, it's my year, ... For what? It's my year to do what? And so, like, even within my business, I help visionaries unpack that, right? So I get them unlocked so they get to the, oh yeah, it's my year. Okay, but what does that mean? What does that look like? And so I help them get to that answer, through my coaching business. And what they find out is they've only been saying, yeah, this is my year, woohoo. And then when they get to the end of the year, they have nothing to show for it because they weren't intentional. And so everything you do with your life, it has to be on purpose, for a purpose. But if you don't know what your purpose is, you won't be doing nothing intentionally. So
That was good. Everything you do you have to be on purpose for a purpose.
yes.
That was good.
Can I write it down?
Yeah, I ain't got a pen, but I'll watch it.
T-shirt it.
Yeah. So right now, with everything you got going on, literally, outside the podcast, outside of marriage, outside being a mother, Ashley Sturgis, what is your purpose?
So I exist to help people like yourself get unlocked. I help them unpack their past, their trauma, and I help them position themselves to be unleashed into their next. Essentially, I help people get unstuck. And sometimes you get people that help you get unstuck, but they don't help you pivot. So I help people pivot into purpose. I help them pivot in their passions. I help them pivot in their posture. So maybe you were, sad and down about yourself, and you're just like, yeah, I just don't see how this is. I'm like, nope, let's pivot. Because a pivot is just one decision. You just have to make one decision that can literally change the trajectory of your life. Like Eve did. She made one decision. And now we all gotta wear clothes. But anyway. Yeah, I help people pivot into their passions, their purpose, primarily their purpose, because your purpose should be what you're passionate about. So I help people pivot in their purpose, and I help them position themselves to go to the next level,
So how can you help somebody to find a purpose? Because you say, I don't know, well, you did like men and women.
Yeah, I do it.
Okay, so when a person is trying to find their purpose, like, what do you do specifically to help them? Like, hey, I see you always talking about this. Let's focus on this.
That's exactly what I do. So I start asking questions. So I ask probing questions, and I dig. So a lot of people used to call me very persistent. They were like, "Oh, you a little pushy," and I was like, "Well, he knows I could be a little pushy, but I'm pushy for a reason, because I see something in people that they don't even realize it's in themselves." And so I push past their own postures of lowliness, or like, I don't feel like I can do this, or I'm really not that great. I push past that. I'm like, yeah, stop. I don't want to hear none of that. So what I do is I give them a pat on the back. Like, okay, that's great. You did that good, but let's do something better. There's more. And so we get down to the nitty gritty of more. I go into their past and I peek into their childhood traumas and their story. I believe it's so important that people know how to tell their story and be able to communicate it and articulate it in a way that is powerful, and it doesn't cause them to be pessimistic, So I really just unlock them. Then we unpack the trauma. And then we unleash them into their next.
Okay.
Yeah. All of that we do with God. We do with God, with the Holy Spirit, because I literally am just a vessel. And so whatever he tells me to do, whatever he asks me to ask people, I do it. I'm of the thought process of, y'all have no heaven and hell to put me in. So if I'm asking you a question that you getting your feelings about and you don't like me, listen. I'd rather lose the relationship than to see your future fail because I'm caring about your feelings. I care less about your feelings. I care about your future. And people that are assigned to your future needs you to be who God called you to be. And you can't be who God called you to be, being in 304.
Quick plug, shout out to the 304. All right. Truth or Dare. Season 8 Cap Podcast, Truth or Dare. All right. We're going to the Truth or Dare. Which one you want to do first? Dare or Truth?
Truth.
Truth. Oh, hey. People say dare, but not you. All right. What is your biggest fear of raising your kids in a social media world?
Woo! That's a very good question. I think my biggest fear is not so much what social media has to put on them, but I don't want them to feel like they have to amount up to what they see on social media. That would be my biggest fear. I don't have fears per se because we're training them for a social media age. But if I would, that would be the biggest one. Really just having them feel like they have to be perfect, because social media can come off that way. Like, oh, she has it all together and I'm not adequate. And, you start talking bad about yourself. And so that would be my only fear, is that they forget who they are because of social media.
All right. Going to a dare, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Ashley Sturgis, I need you to grab your phone. Thank you, babe. Go to, Akeem, I'm thinking of a number between 2 and 8. 6. Go to the 6th person in your phone.
Do I go to the contacts or?
No, call out.
Call out.
Who's the 6th person you talk to?
4, 5, 6.
Who is that?
That's my aunt.
You're going to call your aunt.
Okay.
And only thing you can say is, I need $50.
Okay.
Now, she gonna ask why. You know what you say?
What?
I need $50. Why do you need $50? I need $50. You can't say I need $50. I need $50. Okay. If she sends you the $50, we're gonna match it, and you're gonna walk away with the 50, which we're probably gonna send back, plus 50 from the Cal podcast.
Okay.
Only words you can say is I need $50. No, I need $50.
If she cuss me out,
This is gonna be something.
You have 45 seconds.
What if she don't answer?
If she don't answer, then we wait.
Okay.
If she call back, you do the same thing.
Okay.
But you got 45 seconds. Let me get my watch. On speaker.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
I need $50.
Okay.
Can you cash app it to me or Zelle it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll call you right back.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
That is the second person on the cap who got somebody to send them $50. Everybody else was like asking questions of them, so we owe you $50.
Hey,
Hey.
Part of this.
just give me my money.
You the second person. First of all, shout out to Andrew on First Lady podcast, because he said the same thing your aunt said. No problem. And he sent the 50.
Yeah.
And then we sent her the 50, and then she sent the 50 back. But anyways, we're gonna make sure you get your money. So,
Okay.
all right, let's get back
She
to
gotta
it.
send it to me first. Okay.
We gotta make sure, because
Okay, I know. Okay.
you ain't got nothing again. Don't text her when she send it. She send it.
Well, I gotta tell her to send it.
Oh. So, you're the second person. All right, here we go. What else I wanted to talk? Okay. Back to you. I'm looking at truth or dare
I'm
question.
surprised she didn't cuss me out.
I mean,
Why do you need 50? Where Akeem at? Let me talk.
like the three people we did it with, they was like, what you need $50 for? And the person kept saying it like, yeah, but why am I sending you 50? Why am I sending you 50? Why am I sending you 50?
But that's a good point, because it's like, if you talk to these people on a regular basis, they're topping your call log, you should be able to go to them for something, because it could be an emergency, it could be anything. Yeah, they should trust you enough.
Now, getting back to your podcast. First of all, thank you for getting it back started.
Yeah.
But with your podcast, because I know it's a lot for you, because I know the conversation that you're having, and I know the conversation that you're going to have. Like, what is one of your biggest goals to get out from it? Like, literally, what was one of your goals, your biggest goal from day one?
My biggest goal from day one is to remove shame.
Shame from?
Every conversation that you need to have and don't have, there is some form of shame there. So people don't have the hard conversations because they're afraid to. They don't know how the person's going to respond, or they don't know what they're going to feel like once they open their mouth and say, hey, I've had traumatic experiences. So the hard conversations are really healing conversations. It's difficult to talk about, but they're necessary for you to move forward in life. And so to really remove the shame and condemnation that we put on ourselves, that the enemy puts on us. So I've been able to help people really get past the traumas, the mental health issue, mental health crises, just through conversation. We just talking, you know?
You hear so much about people talking about this person needs to heal, this person healing. Like, who is the healing for? Is it for the person or the person who's dealt with that person?
Both. So it's for both people. The other part, like say if it's someone that you have to forgive and you don't know how to forgive them, you don't have to go back and talk to them. You don't have to go back and, be friends with them again, but you need to be able to have the conversation that says, listen, you did this to me and it hurt. Sometimes you can go have that conversation with the person, but you need to be able to have a conversation with yourself. Like, you know what, this happened to me and I didn't like it. It made me feel bad about myself. But if you can't even acknowledge that you're hurt, then you're only hurting yourself. And so it's for you, but it's also for every other person that comes in contact with you. Because if you're mean and nasty, or you got wounds and you're bleeding all over the place, the people that are in your life are going to be left to pick up the pieces. And so that's not fair for them. Like, they didn't hurt you. You know, your coworker didn't hurt you. You should be able to live a happy and joyful life regardless of what you have gone through. And so the enemy puts shame on these conversations, like saying, hey, I was violated as a child by a girl cousin. I was abused by an ex partner. And so how do I say that to someone else? And it's really just your testimony. Right? So you're telling your testimony. In Revelations 12:11, it tells us to tell our testimony so that we can overcome. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing. So it says, we have overcome by the blood of the Lamb.
All you Bible thumbs. She didn't say it right. She said
right. I've overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so when we're testifying, we're also, when we're telling our story, we're testifying of what we've been through and how we are better, or where we are on the journey to being better. It is going to bring glory to God. And of course, the enemy don't want you to have that conversation. He don't want you to say, me and my mother I had a mother wound, or I had a father wound, or, you know, I'm thinking about divorce in my marriage. You know, the enemy doesn't want you to talk about it, because the moment you release it from your mouth, the light of Christ can come and purify that thing, and it can bring something beautiful out of it. But if you keep it in darkness, you keep it to yourself, you suppress your emotions, you're going to be snapping at everybody, you're going to be losing money because you're overspending, trying to fill a void. And so when you have the hard conversations, they help you heal.
What do you tell the person who went to somebody, who went through something? Let's just say, got, I don't know why did I put man, but I'm just saying, got molested, and they go and tell somebody, and they were like, I don't believe it.
So,
and hold on, and then they take that answer and say, you know what, let me just bottle this up.
And so that is really the trauma. Most of the trauma that I deal with a lot of my clients is they've been either raped or molested in childhood and adulthood, and they haven't been able to share with anybody, because most people will victim blame, or they will say, oh well, it's not that big of a deal, or they'll brush it off like, no, that didn't happen, because people do lie. But the truth of the matter is, you have to have the gift of discerning of spirits, and you have to know when a person is telling the truth. Like, no one is going to just on purpose be like, yeah, I was molested by a girl cousin when I was 6 years old. I was molested by a boy that lived with us. Their family lived with us when I was 5 years old. Like, who is gonna want to go and say that to anybody? And then the enemy tells you, oh, they're not gonna believe you. And then when you go and tell the wrong person, because that's the other thing too, we have these conversations are sacred conversations, and we have them with people that don't care nothing about us. And so we have to be mindful of the conversations we're having with people, because at the end of the day gonna end, and you're gonna be left with yourself. And you need to feel like, you ever talk to somebody and you just feel like you told them too much?
Yeah.
When you talk to the wrong person, like after the conversation's over, you just like, ugh, I think I said too much.
Yeah, because them type of, like, I recently, like, literally did that this week. It was a homegirl I'm cool with, but I just, when we got off the line, like, I told her for too much. Like, I literally was like, I don't know what she gonna do with it.
That's right.
It was like, but I felt comfortable with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after the conversation, I was like, man,
yeah.
she on Facebook.
Yeah.
They gonna know where they got it from.
Okay. So with that, you really just gotta know what to tell, how much to tell, and when to tell it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. Because we should be sharing with people, but we need to know what parts we need to share, what parts we don't need to share, what parts we need to never share. Because there are some ugly parts of our story that will push people away. It won't draw people in. And so the whole point of us being able to share these conversations is to draw people in, to shine our light so that it draws people in so they can heal, you know. And when our lights shine, when we take care of ourselves, when we love ourselves, when we have the hard conversations, you know, it draws people into Christ. And that's the end goal. We want to win souls. We're not God is not asking people to be perfect. He's just asking people to come to him. Because the only way you can heal is really through the person that can heal you. Because he knows everything about you.
So, dang, I forgot it. That's how I should have wrote out. What is it? Her Money Podcast.
She Money.
She Money Podcast. And I'm terrible with names. The sister. I'm about to say it again. But anyways.
Snapback Sister
Snapback
Retreat.
Sister Retreat.
Look at Sister Retreat. You're so aggy. Snapback Sister Retreat.
But anyway, go retreat. Snapback Sister Retreat. So with the She Money Podcast, we hear a lot about boss ladies, and now we're talking about money. And then you hear some women, because I'm assuming a lot of it. Well, what's the population? I think it's every 5 black women to black men is, what was it, 60,000 or better?
Yeah.
But then you hear that some of these women can't find a relationship.
Exactly.
So how, with the She Money Podcast, how are we going to tell, how are you going to tell women it's okay to go get the money,
Yes.
but don't be desperate to get in a relationship?
Yeah. So a lot of women use money as a means to fulfill that desire for companionship.
If you're out there, DM me. Go ahead.
To use that desire for companionship, most women actually wouldn't mind financing their whole life. They're cool with doing all of that, but it's just something about a man that can provide, not just financially, but they can provide peace, they can provide security, reassurance.
Okay, no, because this is a topic that I've been talking about for the longest. Because like, when they say for the best example I could do, it was I never could think of this lady's name, but she was a therapist. She had a couple, and the lady, I guess the wife or the girlfriend, she was mad at the husband because he wouldn't take charge of this. But when they broke it down, she was way more better than him and qualified to do it. But the fact that he's a man, he was supposed to be in charge of that. And the best example she gave was, baby, right now, y'all got a garden.
Yep.
He's better at cutting the grass, sowing the seed, making sure it got all the minerals, watering it, name it, he could do it. Yes. But you are way more better than what she said, in spotting the good apples.
That's right.
He don't know the difference between a good apple and a bad apple. All he sees is an apple. But he can take care of the garden. But the fact that he's not picking the apples, she got mad at that.
So the woman is really like the eyes. She sees everything. She's supposed to be a watchman in her watchtower. If you look at Proverbs 31, she looked after the affairs of her household. So the household can be like unto her garden. And so the husband, the man, Adam, was set in the garden at the very beginning to work it, to till the grounds. So when you're tilling the grounds, your back is turned. When you're down, you're in a vulnerable position. When you're in that vulnerable position, you need someone that can do what?
Watch your back.
Thank you. So Eve,
you heard that. You heard that.
Eve was not in her watchtower. She wasn't watching his back. She was too busy on social media. She was too busy chasing the bag. And so sometimes us as women, we're so busy with our own agenda that we forget our whole purpose for being put here was to help men.
Well, let me ask you this. Because I'm hearing it and I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, but I'm like, baby, if you're already making the money, what if he can take care of other stuff? Like, you're bringing the money home, but maybe he's good at cooking. Maybe he's good at taking care of the house. Exactly. You got the nice expensive car, but he takes to get the oil change and washing, but you're paying the note. And he can do so much other than just be the financier. And every woman says the same thing. The man is the provider. He's supposed to do this.
So here's the thing.
And it's always come back to money. It never come back to everything else.
Yeah. So my husband provides for me confidence. a resting place to know that, you know, no matter what happens, we're going to be okay.
Ashley, how can we get women to even think that's a good thing?
They have to shift their mindset. They have to not be
Every
a 304. You cannot
Every
have
time
304
they say
behavior.
provide, the first thing that come out their mouth, not provide for this or that, is money.
Yeah, because we live in a generation of get money females. That's all they want. They are so hyper masculine that they forget that they are supposed to be feminine too. They're 2 in 1. Like the woman came out of the man, so of course.
My true question. That's what I pointed out. Go ahead.
The woman came out of the man, so she has to embody a level of masculinity. But the man also possessed the woman, so the female, the feminine energy, like people like to say, but there's a balance, there's duality. And so as women, we have to not only look as provision as finances. Yes, it makes it easier. I just told my husband, I said, you ready to come off your job?
Yes.
Because I have learned that he is safer at home with me than going out into this world, especially as a black man. It is not very safe for him to be outside of the home these days. And so I'm even thinking of ways that he can work from home and be home. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be in the field, but as a husband, as a family man, you can't be in the field very long. You can't be in that garden all day long or you'll be exhausted. And so there comes a time where you have to pivot into your position in the household as father. But if you come home and you're super exhausted and your wife can't, you know, pick up the slack, or let's say you want to take a month off, and the household is still not going under, because once you attain the favor that comes with the wife, you should have a surplus of income. She should be helping you build your legacy. But so many women get caught up in building these boyfriend's legacy and then get upset when they leave them. Well, the problem is you were trying to make a husband out of him before he made you a wife. And so he can't even properly obtain the favor because you made him a husband before he made you a wife. And so we are giving these benefits to men, and we're wondering why you see a lot of women that are boss chicks that get with these front kings, these dudes that don't have nothing going for themselves, and then they get jealous of the woman and they want to humble her. And so this is why I'm doing She Money Podcast, because we're not just going to talk about your money. We're going to talk about wealth, your mind, your body, your essence as a woman. Why do you think there's so many people that want to become a woman? You don't see a lot of women wanting to become a man as much as you see a man trying to become a woman. Okay, y'all can say what y'all want to say about me. But the point is, if women didn't possess something that was worth repeating, they would not try so hard to imitate us or to become us. And so us as women, we are literally letting men take their position as women. In the gay community, the homosexual community, they're doing it better than most women.
And not to get off, because we're going to get back to the money thing, but I just want to go down that road since we're already done that.
Yeah.
My problem with it is with the transgender, whatever.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that women are okay with some of that stuff they're doing. Like, I'm going to just take it to sports.
Yeah, that's because they're men.
Okay, so I'm going to just take it to sports. The reason why I'm taking it to sports because I'm looking at it like, you hear so much about men turning transgender into women and playing in sports. Yep. You barely hear about a woman transgender into a man, but want to play in men's sports. She still go back to women. So I'm like, dear ladies, y'all better pay attention to what's going on, because I'm looking at the WNBA. How many black men, or excuse me, let me not say black men, how many men can play ball but can't make it to the NBA?
Come on.
I put on this wig.
I go to
WNBA, I can make $200,000.
Joanna man.
So that's my only beef with them.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna jump back off to the money, because we can talk about that for a long time. Because it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that even for men, I'm gonna just say it, if you are with a man who turns to women, my guy, you like men. You just like the fact that that man has boobs, but he still got that tool.
He has a counterfeit essence of a woman, so you don't feel like less than a man.
As long as he got that hardwood at the bottom, but boobs like, but look, I'm not gay, but
It's okay to say that you're gay.
Like it's 2024, man.
Yeah. Just
like,
accept that that's where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
Doesn't mean that's who you are. That's just where you are.
Yeah. It's
okay. There's freedom for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Now back to getting back to the money part because I just feel like women when they hear the word provide, they always think about money, and I'm like, what can? Let's say there's a woman right there right now in a relationship, and she is the breadwinner. Like, what advice would you give her to say, hey, what else? We know the fact that you bring home. I'm just gonna say the money. You bring home 6 figures. He's barely making 40. But is he providing in other areas? Like, does he really even love you?
Right. So we've gone through this. Me and my husband, when we first got married, me and our king I was the breadwinner. I was the primary breadwinner when we first got together. So he had his own gig, but it wasn't consistent. So I was paying all the bills. But you know what he did when I came home? That man had food ready. The house was in order. He rubbed my feet. And I never made him feel less than, because I understand that provision is not just finances. Now, yes, every man should be able to pull their own weight. But we live in a society now where women are making more money. It just makes more sense for me to be the breadwinner right now. This is why there's no gender on breadwinning. There's no gender on breadwinning. They don't have to accept it. But the truth of the matter is, every woman in the Bible, she had her own money. They never even speak of the man providing for her. The only one that they speak of is Boaz. But Boaz, in Ruth's situation, was unique to them. Ruth was still in the field working. That's where she met him. He saw her work ethic. He said, I watched how you gleaned in the field. You work it. So these women that don't want to work and they want the man to pay everything. Just the other day I bought something. He was like, oh babe, I didn't get cash. I didn't bring cash. You know how like empowered I felt to be able to pull out some cash for my husband?
Hey!
Because he always does that for me. I felt empowered. Like I really felt like a help me. He was like, dang, I didn't have the money. I felt like I was serving my purpose.
You felt empowered. I know women who would have been in that situation like,
don't you got your own money?
Don't you got your debit card?
Anytime you doing all this with your neck, it's because you got that king of pride in you called Leviathan. That is a dragon. Doing all this is because you're in pride and you think that a man is only worthy of finances. You think a man don't have feelings. I'm sorry.
No, wait.
Okay.
Because I was going to hit you because you hear now that women are saying, well, I'm like the traditional woman, which they saw their mothers or whoever. Yeah. The man worked. Yeah. And the woman took care of. Well, supposedly.
Y'all watching way too many movies.
Supposedly how, but in today's time, a woman could easily go get a job making $50,000, $60,000, and some of them need degrees. Yep. So that's why I was like, I'm so confused with so many women who like, hey, it's okay if you're the breadwinner. Yeah. What else is he taking care of that you don't have to worry about? All you worry about is one thing.
I told him this straight up. I said, babe, I don't ever want to pump gas again. Unless I have to. If I don't have to, I don't want to pump gas. And I just think about things that I just don't want to do because I have a husband. I don't want to cut the grass. I don't want to take the trash out. He gives me the freedom to say,
shut up. Go ahead.
He gives me the freedom to decide how empowered I want to be.
So how can we get women to look at the whole list, not just part one? Because that's where I have beef with a lot of women. Because it's like he's the husband. He's supposed to provide. I'm like, but hey, you're the one who's bringing home 6 figures.
Right? Does it make sense?
Does it make sense for you to literally stop working and him go work another job just to get he's making 40?
She sent me my money.
So people can see it. She sent it. I'm like, oh, she didn't do it. No, she sent it. She sent it. So the cat for it. But anyway, it doesn't make sense for him to go work 2 jobs. Now your husband working 2 jobs. When are you going to see him?
Right.
So it's just like, I'm just trying to break that.
That's true. When are you going to see him? I used to get on him about that. I was like, babe, you working too much. I was like, what do I have to do? What do you need me to do? And of course, you're not going to tell me, it'd be nice to have some cushion where I can just work to pay the bills, and anything extra we want to do, I know that you have it. It's partnership. Until they shift their mind from me, we live in such a me generation. And like some men have said, I can hire someone to cook and clean. He freed me up when he was like, babe, I don't need you to cook for me. I don't need you to do that. I need you to be able to be soft with me. I need you to be able to be intimate with me, because that matters more. We can figure, and I was like, okay, well, we need to figure out. He was like, I'll cook, because he loves to cook. So now I'm empowering him to be in his passion and his purpose, and we're going hand in hand. But we have to stop with these ideologies that the world creates, because I didn't see my grandmother and my grandfather be traditional. Well, I did see them do traditional things, but he also was beating her upside her head. So if you want to be a traditional woman, you have to be prepared to receive that kind of traditional man.
You just wife A.
Exactly. And down the street was the other family. And they've grown up playing with each other, thinking they're friends, but they're really their brothers and sisters. And so if you want to be traditional woman based off of back then, go right ahead on. But you're going to be a cheated on woman. You're going to be an abused woman. You're also going to be a mute woman, because back then women were not allowed to get she money. And so we had to under the rug do stuff like babysit and sew clothing. So entrepreneurship in females never stop. And so people have this idea that the traditional woman didn't work. Like, are you crazy? She baked bread, she baked cookies, she sewed clothes. Like, she was always working. But this is what the Lord has been having me on here lately. We will not see women break out of that ideology until they accept being a Proverbs 31 woman. We always hear people say, oh, Proverbs 31 woman, I'm a woman of virtue, until it's time to be her. And being her means she will be praised and give her of the fruit of her hand. She considered a field with her own money and bought it, not her husband. It don't even talk about the husband in Proverbs 31:10.
Go ahead.
It doesn't. It just doesn't talk about just the woman. It doesn't talk about the man. It talks about more of what the woman provides than what the man provided. It never mentions the man providing finances. And that whole conversation in Proverbs 31 was really for the men. So men, if you keep getting with these women that all they want from you is your money, that's your fault. Plain and simple. Because a king should not be giving his strength to Instagram models. A king, yeah, she can still be a baddie, but baby need to know how to cover herself up so that he's not threatened when she's around other men. Women are too comfortable, too friendly with being friendly with everyone else. They don't want to be a one man woman. They for the streets. They for everybody. And I know for me and my purpose, I'm not for everybody. No, like if it was any other man, I've asked men in the past when I was dating, I was like, could you handle being my manager and I bring in all the money? Because I knew I was called to wealth. And they was like, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I gotta do. I was like, okay, next. And so you have to be a secure woman and a secure man to be able to allow the man to be at home tending to the kids, or to allow the woman to be in the field gleaning like Ruth was. Boaz was not working. Everybody want a Boaz, but you don't want to work like Ruth. So my husband, he's an overseer. That's what Boaz did. He oversaw what they were doing in the field. She was working in his business. Before she became a wife, she was postured as a wife. She didn't give him no benefits because she was taking home the seed for the mother-in-law. And so we don't want to serve other people. We want to be served. And until women switch that mindset that I am not to be helped by men, I am to be a helpmeet to men, and the Lord gives me my strength and my help and my own wealth. I am here to be a benefit to him. And if he benefits as my husband gets paid and gets money, it frees up she money. I can do what I want. And then he gives me my own money too. Because the men love it when women spend their money. They really do. It makes them feel good about themselves. As a listen to what I'm saying. Wives, let me back up. Wives and husbands, they have an understanding that yes, I'm a provider for my wife financially. I'm not talking about women that are just randos. No. Okay, a $200 date. She's not even gonna let you pay a $200 date unless y'all have made $200,000, because she's gonna be prudent. She's gonna be wise with her money, and you're gonna make more money as a result of being with her. That's the favor portion. So that's it. That's all.
5 months. 5 months. I'm gonna keep saying it. 5 months. She Money Podcast, man. Make sure y'all go. If you're not, well, is it up yet?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Well, when it gets up, subscribe to it. But you can subscribe to Ashley S.
Ashley M. Sturgis.
Ashley M. Sturgis on YouTube.
Everywhere. IG, right. TikTok,
all
the things.
Back to the truth of the dare. So let's do a truth, because the other dares are X-rated. All right, let's do a truth.
Yeah, keep it cute.
What do black women need to hear from black men?
What do black women need to hear from black men? That's a very good question. I think, that they're safe. I think that would be the best thing that they could hear. That they're safe with their, in their presence. So men, women around you, let them know that they're safe with you, and actually let them be safe with you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Not gonna do no dares, because the rest of the dares is just
out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, filthy. So filthy. So filthy. Okay, so I'm gonna get back. Yeah, I mean, I really just thought about it. Like the dares that I had, I'm like,
it's for single women. It's okay.
I mean,
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep moving. Now, because you brought it up, and I want to go back to it, because you hear back to doing women say, I'm looking for a man to be a provider. Also, I'm also trying to live in feminine energy.
In my soft life.
Soft, whatever. So my thing is, if you are trying to be in your feminine, why? And is it bad for women to live in masculine energy?
Yes. Okay. So.
Hold
Go ahead.
Because some women say, I have to be the man and the wife, woman in a relationship, and not even with kids. It's just
it's a life.
It's a life. Like, I gotta be this type of way, because when I'm in the boardroom, I get the type of respect. Or when I'm out and about, if I don't do this, then men gonna try to talk to me all that. So if I give them this energy, they might leave me alone. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, baby, you a woman.
Yeah.
Men ain't gonna never stop trying to talk.
Period. If you're a good looking woman, at least.
I don't even care if you mean. Some women like, man, she's playing hard to get.
Yeah. You have to embody both, because you need both. But you have to know when, how, and what to do in both of those facets of you. And so living a soft life for a woman is what is their feminine energy, right? So, you need to be soft because you need to be nurturing. You need to be able to be watchful, because if you're not able to be watchful, or you're in a survival mode kind of state, you have these filters over your eyes that hinders you from watching effectively. You'll look at things from the lens of trauma, and then that puts you in your masculine. And so with men, you guys are wired for war. Women are too, which is different. But men are wired for war. You're wired for hunting. You're wired to be a provider and a protector. And so protection doesn't look like I'm just going to beat up every person that tries my woman. No, it looks like defending your honor when she's not around. It also looks like carrying yourself with dignity in conversations with other women. It also looks like not allowing people to speak bad about your woman. So that is why I said women need to hear that they're safe with black men, or just men in general. And that's the whole conversation. Who would you choose, the bear or the man? And a lot of people say the bear.
And I don't.
They say the bear because with the bear, like, if you just stand still, it won't bother you. But with the man, you can stand still and it'll still bother you. Men don't know how to walk away. So the wrong man, let me say, little boys don't know how to walk away, but a real man, he's a bear. So my husband's middle name means bear, and so, part of his middle name means bear, and so bears are fuzzy, they're soft, they're cuddly, but they're also ferocious. They also are aggressive, and so you need the bear, absolutely, but you need the man as well. But you need a man and not a boy.
So how can we get women to get out of that masculine, or is it just a switch?
Yeah, they just need to know when to use it, because you need to use it when you're in war. You need to use that masculine energy, just like men. They need to use their feminine energy when they're parenting their daughters. So they have to know how to do both, and know because God, the essence of God the Father, he's stern, he's firm, he's a man of war. Jesus Christ the Son, he embodies both man of war and nurturing and soft. And then you have the Holy Spirit as a comforter. The Holy Spirit, he teaches you, he leads you, he guides you, and that's similar to what a mother does. This is why this whole narrative of mother God is a thing for people. It's not real, guys. It's God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. These are three individual people, but they serve under one headship. Okay,
that's another road.
Okay, I know. I'm trying to keep it all together. But so
She Money Podcast.
Okay, She Money Podcast. Hard conversations. After dinner with the surgeons. So we have to learn how to do both, right? Not balance, but duality. So life and duality. Life and duality is so important, because if we don't have that synergy, the two things working together for a greater good, then we are going to be more in one side or more in the other one. And it's dangerous for a woman to be in that survival or hunter mode far too long. It messes with the chemicals in her brain. So this is where the mental health thing comes in for me. When your chemicals are altered in your brain as a woman, you lose estrogen and you start to grow chin hairs, you start to grow mustache. Yes, absolutely. Your estrogen levels start to decrease.
Okay, start from the top. Start from the top.
The chemicals in your brain.
Chemicals in your brain.
So we have estrogen, we have testosterone, we have dopamine, we have serotonin. All of the chemicals in our brain that help us live a healthy life. They become imbalanced when we're too much in one or too much in the other one. So you see these effeminate men, they have more estrogen levels. You see these masculine women, they have more testosterone levels.
Yeah, because I know a couple women got a little chin.
And now, I'm not saying that it can come, because I've had chin hairs in my past. I plucked a couple out the other day. We came from a man.
Well,
but we talking about full-on goatees, beards, and all that.
Like, some of them, I don't know, maybe somebody told them that was cute. It's like they just want to leave them, like, hey.
Yeah,
like,
fix that. But like you said, somebody told them it was cute, or I should just be accepted the way that I am. Okay, and you're gonna get a certain type of person. Don't think that you can come to a real man any old kind of way. Don't think, men, you can come to a real woman any old kind of way. And so if you come effeminate, she's going to reject you, or she's going to take you on and she'll control you.
Now you're feminine for the people out there. For the people watching.
Oh, so effeminate is just a feminine man. So weak sauce, simps, but simp is not a bad thing. Like when you are
yeah, because it's okay to be fellas, it's okay to be the simp for her.
Yeah, for your woman.
For her.
Yeah, you
not
out here everybody crying about everything, like grow up. Okay.
Not the girl who not your work wife. Don't be a simp for her.
You shouldn't even have a work wife. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
Conversation,
you should not be having no work. Let me preface this. If you're married, you should not have a work nothing. Okay.
It's okay to have a work wife.
No, it's not.
She has, especially if she can cook.
No.
Lunch can be awesome. But anyways,
I don't agree.
She's a pocket.
If he's single, sure, go right ahead. But if you're married, don't do that, because then you'll cross over into adultery and then you'll literally kill yourself. So anyway.
That's a way to end a conversation.
Hey, I'm just trying to help y'all out. Don't be getting around here thinking you're going to get with a married man. Oh, he going to leave his wife for me, or she going to leave her husband. They're not.
That I think is stupid, because how many times we've seen someone like, yeah, she's going to leave him. Excuse me, he's going to leave him for me. Like,
why would you want him? if she leaves, why would then he'll just turn around and do the same thing to you, baby?
I never understood.
It's
that.
foolishness. It's enough single people out here in the world. Some of y'all might need to go a couple years younger. Some of y'all might need to go a couple years older to find the right one. But don't be messing with people when they're married. Please save your own life. All right?
Season 8 Cal Podcast, man. Truth or Dare. We got my sister-in-law, my counselor, my therapist, whatever you want to add to this. We got her back in. Okay. Now, podcast, entrepreneur, counselor. What else I'm missing?
Coach.
What else I'm missing?
Minister.
Wife. What else I'm missing?
Well, mommy.
There we go. How does a mother of how many?
6.
Let's name them. First was?
8.
Second was?
Ari.
Third?
Aiden.
What's his name?
Aiden.
No.
Oh, the third.
The third. Then we got who used to be
that fourth child.
But Ozzy. Then we have
Amir.
And then we just got
Arrow.
How does a mother of 6 handle all of that?
Through the grace of God. You literally cannot do anything in this life, but let alone being a mother.
Oh, we forgot the 7th child.
What? Oh, my son. No, he's the first one. Yeah, he's the first child.
Let me rephrase it. How does a mother of all that handles? Let me not say that situation. Handles those personalities.
Yes. So, for one, you have to know yourself as a woman. You have to know yourself as a child of God. And when you know yourself as a child of God, it's easier to handle the rest of the children. Because you'll start to look at your children like God sees your children. And I am a child of God. So when I mess up, when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I give myself grace. And that's what God does. And he parents me that way. He loves me that way. So I have to do the same thing. Parents, we are their example of Christ in the household. And so some kids, you gotta grab them by the shirt and just say, hey, get together. Other kids, you gotta know when to hug them. You gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them. Know when to run, know when to walk away.
Yep. 2 years. No. Oh, how old is Ozzy?
4.
4. Yeah, it took 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. And this is like a light switch.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he was
still
like,
trying to figure it out.
I think it was because he was born in COVID, and so like people just he was like that with everybody. So it wasn't just like a you thing, and like the light switch literally just went off. A little bit.
My blood, my kids.
Okay.
They mine.
So, that light switch turned on for him because he opened up. It's like he began to unfold and grow up. That's it. Uncle AJ cut his jewelry so he wasn't as intimidating. Uncle AJ also got some healing. Kids can see in the realm of the spirit, so maybe it was something you were carrying that terrified him. Like what?
I'm figuring out what it was.
No.
I'm being honest and transparent. Not this time. I want to say last year, probably from May to August, I probably was going through probably the worst time for me. I was like
that's probably what you probably seen that monkey on your back.
Yeah, but before then I was good though.
Okay. But you sometimes you used to have like just a down face. You didn't smile. You didn't laugh. We didn't know you were as funny as you are. Like we didn't know how brilliant you were until you started to open up. And it's
I always open up
to me, yes, but the kids didn't see that aspect. They just kind of seen, Uncle AJ come around and, you were a little stoic with him. And so with Ozzy, you have to be very.
Speaking of Ozzy.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Tell him, babe, how?
I heard him. I got a boo. You heard him.
Yeah, but he loves Uncle AJ now.
So
he loved you before. He just made sure.
Yeah, he loved me until he saw me. Because I remember he told me happy birthday. When I got around him.
It's like, no.
Alright, season 8, truth or dare. I got one more truth.
Okay.
Let me go to this one. Ashley, and this is a question. I can ask you. When was the last time you had a good cry?
Ooh. When was the last time I had a good
Matter of fact, I got another truth after this one, but go ahead.
Okay, I think last month. Or maybe, I think it was last month. I had a good cry. It was a very healing cry. I was talking to Auntie Jade, and we were having a transparent moment. We was having a transparent moment, and she was like, "That's right, girl. Just let it all out." Just so very like, I just needed that in that moment. It might have been 2 weeks ago, but I just was talking through my emotions, and she provided a safe space for me to do that, and I love her. That's my girl. Shout out to Jade.
Next one. How can a man know when a woman is being assertive or she's being aggressive?
Intention. So men need to sharpen their gift of discerning of spirits for one. Their discernment needs to be high enough so that they can realize when a woman is being assertive with him because maybe he is not doing what he's supposed to be, what he needs to be doing. And then aggression really comes off. Like, men can smell aggression, right? So it's like when you think about lions in the jungle. If a weaker lion was trying to usurp the head lion, because I'm trying to use my words wisely. There's a presence or a energy that you carry, and so a man should know how to determine. This is why Proverbs 31 is important for men more than women, because it was a mother.
Put that at the bottom.
It's a mother talking to her son.
I'm gonna put that. At
You
the bottom
should.
because you keep saying it.
Yes, it's a mother talking to her son. She's not talking to women. He's not, the woman is actually teaching her son what kind of man to be and then what kind of woman to find. And so if she possesses the qualities from Proverbs 10 on down, then that's when he'll know the difference between assertion and aggression. But if he doesn't possess the qualities from 9 on up, he's not even qualified to tell somebody they're being assertive or aggressive because he's not even in his purpose as a man. So that's how they can tell the difference. You just gotta, when you're in alignment, you can always tell when a woman is being aggressive versus assertive.
Gotcha. All right, we got our Cal Podcast questions.
Yes.
Now, 1 through 3 you already answered before plenty of times, so we're not gonna ask you. So you're gonna answer the rest. All right, start with 4. As I look at your husband, if you had to describe your sex life as a movie scene, what scene would it be? And she's a married woman.
It would be like a library. Because it's none of your business.
I don't get it, but I get it. I thought you were going at it like library, we gotta be quiet because of the kids.
Nope.
But library, okay.
Undefined.
All right. Ashley, what brings you peace?
What brings me peace is knowing that I am walking in my purpose. What brings me peace is seeing people turn their life back over to Jesus. What brings me peace is knowing that people have overcome mental health issues without the need for medicine, without the need for psychiatric help, just simple Jesus and some coaching. That brings me great peace. It brings me joy knowing that I work for the Lord. That's what brings me peace.
What is something in your life that you tried to change but end up accepting it for what it is? What is something in your life that you tried to change but end up accepting it for what it is?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Got podcast, man. Questions again, baby. Questions again.
Yes, that's a very good question. That I learned to accept. That I tried to change. I tried to change my husband. But I learned to accept him for who he is and where he is. And yeah.
All right. Ashley, we're going back to that very first time. That very first time. As whatever the draw's coming off, what advice would you whisper in your ear right before it happened?
Did you take a shower?
Ashley, what is your... Oh, no, let me ask you this question. Now, we're in a political season. Don't care who you're on. Don't want to know. I'm just going to ask you, do you know the 3 branches of government?
Probably not.
Don't even want to try?
3 branches of government. Is that like the legislation?
That's one.
Senate?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Legislature, judicial, and executive.
Okay, yeah, I don't know none of that.
Ashley,
None of that.
what is your superpower?
My superpower is getting people out of their comfort zone. That's my superpower.
All right. What 5 values you would tell a man to look for in a woman? Not a wife, but in a woman that he's currently talking to or pursuing.
Kindness, diligence, care, Christ, and compatibility.
Compatibility. Okay. All right. Last truth, last dare. Truth. Do you believe? Excuse me. Let me see. I keep messing up. Do you think people are scared to accept the person that they see in the mirror?
Do you think that? Do I think that they're scared?
To accept the person that they see in the mirror every day. And the reason why I ask that because you got people who try to go get Botox, lipo, BBL. You got men out here getting fake abs, or you got men out here saying, "Well, since I'm lacking over here, let me go get this new car. Let me get Gucci. Let me do this to impress that." Do you think people are just scared to accept the person that they see in the mirror every day?
Yeah, because they don't know who they are.
Okay.
When you know who you are, you learn to accept everything about yourself.
And then the last dare is, what dare would you like somebody to dare you?
Maybe jump out of an airplane. Or go skydiving.
I think we actually about to, well, we gotta go back. Who has the better pancakes, Cracker Barrel or Whataburger?
Well, I have to say, I don't know. I haven't had Whataburger's pancakes.
Okay, so we gotta kill that question. Okay. All right. Well, Ashley, this is the part of the show where we give you the flow. You can say what you want to say. Promote what you need to promote. The floor is literally yours.
So in my passion, I help wives prepare for marriage so that they don't get with a counterfeit. So I would just say connect with me at ashleyamsturgis.com or Ashley M. Sturgis everywhere. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just a woman. I'm not just a mother. I'm a weapon of mass destruction for the kingdom of darkness. And you come over here, just know that I'm not here to play. We here to do what we need to do in our purpose so that we can live life, so that we can fulfill purpose. So that we can fulfill purpose, so that we can, just no one wants to live a life that is unfulfilling. So if you're stuck anywhere, whether it's in your business or you're stuck in your just anything in life, connect with me. I would love to see about coaching you if you're a visionary and you need assistance with growing your vision, making it plain, actually executing your vision. Hit your girl up. I'm also an event planner. That's one of my passions that I absolutely love. So if you have any events that you want to do, even as a business owner, I help business owners create retreats and conferences, so on and so forth. Connect with me if you need brand strategy. I'm telling you, your girl is a Renaissance woman. This was my Renaissance year. If I can say anything, this was my Renaissance year. I married a Renaissance man. He doesn't do just one thing. The Bible actually says that we are empowered to do all things through Christ who strengthens us. The thing is, you need to know what Christ is strengthening you for. And once you're strengthened, you need to do them decent and in order. So that's it.
Season 8 Cal Podcast, man. Truth or Dare. Ashley M. Sturgis. Got her back. The reason why we were doing Truth or Dare, we want to make sure you get your money, but my homegirl, she's the track coach for Woodlawn High School in Louisiana, and they cut her budget, so we was raising money for her to not to get the kids uniform, because we didn't think, but it was like more of a post-game meals and pre-game meals, stuff like that. So that's why I was doing Truth or Dare. Like, a lot of people think we're doing Truth or Dare. No, we're doing it for a reason. So shout out to Chastity Johnson out there in Shreveport, Louisiana. But Ashley, it was always a thank you for always doing this.
Yes.
I pray, and I'm praying so hard that you just be consistent for 5 months. Because literally, and I keep saying this about both of y'all, y'all done been through some, I ain't gonna curse, but y'all done been through some stuff where people who's going through that is like,
how can I make it?
not how can I make it, like they're going through like, I need to divorce this person.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing with the WISE program.
Not knowing like, hey, maybe it's just a conversation.
Yes.
Like if you, like I think if they just knew that it's going to rain when you find that person.
That's right.
Now I haven't been in a relationship probably in about 6 years, but even I know bad times are coming.
Yeah, they happen.
But you work through it, because today that person made a mistake. Tomorrow it might be a blessing. You just don't know how God works. So I know for a fact if more people just can hear y'all conversations and the stuff y'all been through, especially when both of y'all be on at the same time, I just like that they just don't know like who they gonna bless.
Well,
so that's why I need you
our
to
first
be
conversation is going to
5
be
months.
I'm gonna do it just for you. 5 months. I got
5
you.
months. I guarantee.
But we are gonna do our live streams again. What we say, November 3rd. So November 3rd.
Even if y'all just did a live stream once a month.
We're gonna do it every other week. That's gonna be our commitment to people that need to hear our story. We have been through a lot of things, but we have also grown through a lot of things, and we've come out on the other end loving each other more. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to do this life or the next life with anybody else. So yeah, we're gonna do it.
So
It's emotional.
Season 8 Cal Podcast. We got my therapist, my life coach, my relationship advisor.
There you go.
Back in the Cal. What else I supposed to announce?
You need to. AJ is single, y'all, but he looking for a Proverbs 31 woman, because he is a king. Okay.
That's another role we're not going to do. But anyways, thank you again for doing this. Season 8 Cal Podcast, man, Truth is There. This is a live episode. I'm in Florida, so you already know Quit and Perk can make it. But like I always say, we're going to do better and get better. And y'all have a good one.
G14 classified. That's good.
Headline, Starlight.
DJ Star.